1, 2. So my name is Kristen Ford, and I'm a touring singer-songwriter, looper, guitar player, drummer, indie rocker. And what I wanted to do with this studio time is to capture the live show in a way that sounds great, but then also you have the visual, so it's just like being there, and it's just basically like using a tape recorder where we just hit record. I played some songs, then we hit stop. No auto-tune, no crazy edits, nothing, just live playing, and for it to kind of be like an intimate sound of what I am doing now, solo, traveling around the country, doing this thing. Yeah. I think being a one-woman band has been this new thing for me over the last 5 months of traveling. My approach to looping is for it to be organic and to be playing as many instruments live as possible, and as I'm overdubbing things, there's not really a set part. It's kind of something that I improvise on the spot. So for me, I did about 90 shows over the last 5 months, and I have to keep it fresh each night. I would say the fact that every single show is completely different, and that you're going to have this huge sound with one person would be the difference between me and everybody else. That Audrey Ryan, who's a local Boston player, was my huge, oh wow, this can be done, I should try this. And there's a one-man band called Suitcase Junket out of Western Massachusetts, and he is old school. He doesn't do any looping, but he has an amazing setup with his feet where he plays all these percussion. So I kind of took a lot of inspiration from them for the one-person band, but when it comes to musical influences, I'd say Radiohead, Ani DeFranco, Phoenix. There's too many to really name off the top of my head, but I like it all. I like so many different styles of music, and I try to keep it eclectic, but for this recording, I wanted to kind of have there be a theme throughout, rather than be too all over the place with country and a folk and a hip hop and a jazz, and I wanted it to be more streamlined. I want to be real, and I want to be authentic, and I feel like today's, at least popular music, like on top 40, it seems so detached from anything that people actually go through or they actually feel. It's all about clubbing, it's all about sex, and then the production is so there's no life in it, because it's been so perfected and whittled down that, for my music, I want people to hear it and be able to think, oh, she's singing about me. Even if I'm singing about something that's kind of sad or kind of hard for me, I want the music to be feeling kind of major and feeling upbeat. So I'd like to leave people feeling like happier and more connected, and not, I don't know, alienated or whatever that means. And being, a biracial, queer woman, I feel like there's a lot of unexplored territory in mainstream culture that there's people out there that are ready to hear it. In terms of recording, studio time, I feel like writing, recording, live performance, and rehearsal are all different skill sets, and the more time you can spend in the studio, the more comfortable it gets. And today was sweet because it was just me, and I felt like I was really well rehearsed going into it. We could move pretty quickly, whereas when you are dealing with a larger ensemble, it can be more tricky. And I would just say, for people that are getting into the looping, just practice on your piece of equipment a lot, because when you have a loop, the loop is God. It's not the way that you're feeling the beat. It's whatever's recorded, it's going to repeat infinitely. And that took, for me, some getting used to after playing in a band, and then coming off of a solo tour. This month I've had a residency with my band, so I've been playing every week in like a full band scenario, and it's totally different than playing by myself. So I think that dreams can evolve, and at a certain point, if the direction that you're taking things isn't working, then yeah, it's alarming how many musicians there are at open mics, and if you look on SoundCloud or YouTube or, you know, there's just, or even people that are on iTunes, there's so many choices, there's so much music out there, there's so much to compete with that unless it's really like the only thing that you could ever want to do, I think there's a lot of easier things. You can stream it, download it, watch it, share it, what have you, at KristenFordMusic.com. That's KristenFord music.com. And hopefully everywhere. So
yes, I wish it could be like this. Together we just exist.